Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Dr. Smith Live, our 66th episode. And we keep rolling along. A little housekeeping notes. May 6th, RVN TV. I did a project with them, a docu-series on Cancer Deconstructed, which is, it was the first docu-series that they've produced. Took about a year, and I actually wrote it. And had a great interviewer, Mark Iorio. Anyway, we're going to have the premiere showing at 7 o'clock, and May 6th. It's a Friday. And we'll have, when I get the link, Jared Tanager, my IT person, he'll put it up on our website so that people can log on and see the live streaming of the first episode, or it's one of the episodes that we're going to be showing first. But I think that's pretty exciting. The book is available on icnr.com if you're available in ebook or printed form. It's very powerful. The research that I did basically shows that cancer is not a disease. It's just an adaptation to low oxygen and toxicity. It's interestingly, we've been getting a lot more consultations on cancer patients. I guess people are starting to read the book and read about the reality of cancer, and too many people are getting brutalized by the conventional chemotherapy, radiation, and slash and burn techniques. So anyway, that's going to be exciting. Tonight I have I think a real exciting program. It's kind of one that I've been following pretty much all my professional career, so my brain hasn't gotten rusty, thank God. I have some senior moments periodically, like all of us, but when you got a lot of things on your plate, it's hard to keep track of everything. So tonight we're going to talk about documentation that the brain can repair, neuroplasticity, it stimulates neuron production and rewrites the brain, why a specific spice can repair the brain, which pretty exciting. It's been around for thousands of years. Science is just waking up to all these natural, wonderful breakthroughs. And what supplements are critical to repair the brain? Learn what vegetables stimulate nerve growth, and why critical thinking is essential to maintaining brain sharpness, and how to prolong brain processing speed. Get RAM doubler. Anyway, life is short. Break the rules. Forgive quickly, kiss slowly, love truly, laugh uncontrollably, and never regret anything that makes you smile. Mark Twain. He's one of my favorites satirists, and he has tremendous insight into life. So anyway, documentation that the brain can repair. It's commonly held misconception by the mainstream medical establishment that the brain is beyond repair. Even the medical establishment has asserted that once we kill brain cells, they're gone forever, which is BS. The fact is the brain can repair itself, and as science is now proving, there is real benefit to simple practices that can keep our brains sharp and elastic throughout our lifetime. A highly compelling study published in the journal Stem Cell Research and Therapy found that a little-known fat-soluble component within turmeric, it's called artumerin, T-U-M-E-R-O-N-E, artumerin, may make a promising candidate to support regeneration in neurologic disease such as Alzheimer's and stroke. Aromatic turmeric induces neural stem cell proliferation in vitro, which is in the laboratory in petri dishes, but also in vivo in human beings. German researchers evaluated the effects of this turmeric-derived compound on neural stem cells, the subgroup of brain cells capable of continuous self-renewal required for brain repair. Neural stem cells, they're like primitive cells that can differentiate into more advanced cells. So the study found that when brain cells were exposed to the artumerin, neural stem cells increased number through enhanced proliferation. Moreover, these newly formed neural stem cells also increase the number of fully differentiated neuronal cells, indicating a healing effect was actually taking place. This effect was also observed in a live animal model, showing that rats injected with the AR tumorin into their brains experienced increase in neuronal stem cell proliferation and the creation of newly formed healthy brain cells. So it does work, people, and it's readily available, and it's an herb. Neuroplasticity stimulates neuron production and rewrites the brain. The term neuroplasticity refers to the ability of the brain to rewrite itself through the practice of the desired skill. It's the combination of new cells and new learning that creates this magic. When fresh nerve cells are well stimulated, that is, trained through specific learning exercises, they make new connections. In other words, they become healthy brain cells that contribute to learning and development of new skills. So use it or lose it. If you don't engage yourself in new activities, new readings, new music, physical activity, you're going to deteriorate. In fact, statistically, most men die within 3 to 5 years after they retire because they just lose interest in life. So just like the muscles of the body, when the brain is well nourished and stimulated through proper exercise, it heals and grows. And with proper care and feeding, this amazing brain regeneration can occur throughout life. So this whole business, comes with age. I don't buy into that nonsense. It wasn't until the 1980s when Fernando Nottebohm's research at Rockefeller University clearly indicated that neurogenesis, which is a production of new nerve cells, also known as neurons, was taking place in adult vertebrate brains. The growth of new neurons in an adult mammalian brain was first seen in 1992 when scientists isolated neural stem cells from the mice in a petri dish. This regeneration was then replicated thousands of times in a variety of published studies over the next 25 years. It's now accepted in medical scientific community that adult brain is capable of growing new neurons and glial cells, something previously disbelieved by the medical establishment. The brain is now considered to be resilient, pliable, and plastic. So what supplements are critical to repair the brain? Well, we already mentioned the turmeric. Interestingly, the active ingredient of turmeric is curcumin, but curcumin doesn't carry or house the AR tumorin. So you have to take the turmeric, the whole herb, to get the advantages of the AR tumorin. So turmeric is hands down one of, if not the most versatile healing spice in the world, with over 800 experimentally confirmed health benefits and an ancient history filled with deep reverence for its seemingly compassionate power to alleviate human suffering. It may also represent the pharmaceutical industry's single most existential threat, given that the preliminary science signals turmeric is at least as effective as 14 drugs for brain repair and orders of magnitude safer as far as toxicological risk. So the medications always have adverse side effects. Turmeric has 0. Another interesting supplementation is green tea. In a 2014 paper studying the active compounds in green tea, also known as catechins, a main class of micronutrient, determined that green tea catechins aren't only antioxidant, neuroprotective, they actually stimulate the brain to produce more neurons. Because of this therapeutic effect on damaged regions of the brain, green tea has been shown to have exciting implications in the treatment of, quote, incurable neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, or Huntington's chorea disease. This prompted researchers to declare green tea catechins a highly useful complementary approach in the treatment of neurodegenerative diseases. So green tea has health benefits for brain repair. Further investigation of green tea examined the combination of blueberry, which has a lot of great antioxidants in it, green tea, and carnosine, and found it to promote the growth of new neurons and brain stem cells in an animal model of neurodegenerative disease. Carnosine, and I like Premier Research's carnosine because they have very high quality products. Carnosine is a substance produced naturally by the body, classified as a dipeptide, meaning a compound made up of two linked amino acids. And in this case, it's alanine and histidine. And the carnosine is highly concentrated in muscle tissue and in the brain. It also is present in significant concentrations in beef, fish, and in lower concentrations in chicken. So vegans and vegetarians, eat your heart out. You're not getting carnosine, unfortunately. Carnosine has powerful antioxidant properties, allowing it to protect cells against free radical damage. It also appears to reduce inflammation, which is a driver of many types of chronic disease. Animal and laboratory studies show that carnosine reduces the buildup of amyloid beta. That's the protein that forms the brain plaques associated with Alzheimer's disease. So it's a great preventative for Alzheimer's. In one study on mice published in 2013, oral supplementation with carnosine prevented cognitive decline due to its inhibition of the amyloid beta plaque. Eating a meal that includes animal or fish-based protein will increase your level of carnosine. So, for example, 3-ounce portion of beef contains around 300 milligrams of carnosine. So roadkill, good animal protein, keeps your brain alive. Clinician's preference, which I've been taking for about 4 or 5 years now, this organic cold-pressed plant-based source of parent, very important, parent essential oils is made from flax oil, evening primrose oil, pumpkin seed oil, sunflower oil, and extra virgin coconut oil. It provides an 11-to-1 ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 oils. It helps the brain to repair its cell membranes. The omega-6 and omega-3 oils provide the basis for the body to make EPA, DHA, omega-9, omega-7, and any other oils that the body needs. Now, most oils sold in the health food stores, unfortunately, are derivatives and cannot make the other oils that the body needs. So the Dr. Peskin, and I keep pushing his information. If you ever want to get it, it's called PEO Solution. It's a fantastic book. He gives you all the hardcore science documentation in the book. And basically, most physicians downgrade omega-6 oils because they say, oh, it's pro-inflammatory. Well, that's because they're ignorant. The research that was done, they used adulterated omega-6 oils, sunflower oil, safflower oil, cottonseed oil, which is pro-inflammatory. But the research that Peskin showed of organic cold-pressed omega-6, it's anti-inflammatory, 180 degrees different of what these doctors have been brainwashed. So the key in the equation is the oils that unfortunately we're getting at the markets are adulterated, and they literally turn your cell membrane into plastic. So that prevents nutrients from getting in, oxygen from getting in, and waste products from getting out. So you're deteriorating. Another great supplement is Ginkgo biloba. I like MediHerb. I think that's one of the best highly concentrated forms, and it's great for short-term memory. It's considered a powerhouse in the herbal medicine pharmacopoeia, and its indications for brain health are equally potent. Ginkgo has demonstrated at least 50 distinct health benefits, and its medicinal value is documented in the treatment of more than 100 different diseases. Ginkgo is so effective that in 2006, a paper that was published in the European Journal of Neurology found it to be as useful in the treatment of Alzheimer's disease as the blockbuster drug donepezil. So interestingly, I had a personal story. I was in a study group many years ago, And one of the dentists in the group said, geez, can you help with my mother? She has dementia and she can't remember where the hell she put her dentures. She said, I'm going down next week to Florida to visit her. And do you have anything that would be beneficial? So I said, yeah, Ginkgo biloba. Anyway, when he came back a few weeks later, he said he gave his mother the Ginkgo biloba, and an hour later, she ran into her bedroom and she found her dentures that were missing for a year. So it's kind of a cute story, but drives home the fact that increases the brain circulation and gets the memory going. Bacopa, B-A-C-O-P-A, Bacopa, again, MediHerb, I highly recommend it. It's for long-term memory. It's an herb that contains damarine, saponins, which are anti-inflammatory, anti-angiogenic, and antiviral. It also contains Schisandra, eleuthera, and the essential oil of rosemary. This herbal blend is designed to enhance mental clarity and support healthy cognitive function, long-term memory, and concentration. Another great supplement is sulforaphane. It's found in sulfur-rich vegetables such as broccoli, cauliflower, collard greens, kale, bok choy, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, arugula, turnips, watercress, radishes, horseradish, and wasabi. Very powerful. Sulforaphanes work by amelioration of obesity through enhancing energy consumption by browning of adipocytes and reduction of the metabolic endotoxins through improving your gut bacteria. Interesting studies showed that when they actually did fecal transplants from people that were skinny, and they put their fecal transplant into people that were obese, and it made no difference what they ate. The obese people then actually lost weight. So it has to do with your gut flora. Very important thing. And the only way you're going to change that is by changing your diet and eating healthy organic vegetables like the ones that I just mentioned. Now, this is a very interesting, it's not a supplement, it's actually a drug, methylene blue. If you ever had a fish tank when you were a kid and you had any fungal infections in the tank, they would put methylene blue in the tank and it would kill the fungal infection. It helps mitochondrial respiration and improves brain energy metabolism. So by doing that, it can improve cognitive performance and prevent neurodegeneration. Emergency rooms around the world use it as it's the only known antidote for metabolic poisons causing methemoglobinemia, which is when a metabolic poison interferes with the transport of oxygen in your hemoglobin or blood. Methylene blue is a hormetic drug. So low doses have the opposite effect of high doses. So it's like homeopathy, less is more. A low dose actually causes a greater positive physiologic reaction than taking high dose. By low doses, we're talking about 0.5 milligrams to 1 milligram per kilo of body weight are recommended for non-acute long-term treatment. Uses include the prevention and treatment of dementia, post-stroke, and other brain injuries, cognitive enhancement, and the general optimization of health if you're already healthy. So, for example, if you're a 150-pound person, it equates to 68 kilograms. So 34 milligrams to 68 milligrams of methylene blue. Methylene blue in the brain of humans has the effect of improving brain metabolism, increasing blood flow, and memory function. You must use pharmaceutical grade methylene blue. The stuff that they sell in the fish stores are contaminated with heavy metals. So don't go that route. And it's not expensive, people. I saw it advertised for like $19.95 for, I think, 300 milligrams of the pharmaceutical grade. So considering the importance of mitochondrial health, methylene blue appears to be a simple and remarkably effective way to improve mitochondrial health and your cognitive function. The dilution is very simple. You take 1 part of methylene blue into 99 parts of water. Now, recently, I got slam dunk with some viral variant, and was really wiped out. And interestingly, when I started to take methylene blue, and all I did was take like 3 drops in the morning and maybe an ounce of water, and my mojo, my energy, and my mental clarity cleared up within hours. I'm telling you, this stuff is real deal, and it can't hurt you. Like I said, pharmaceutical grade, diluted 1 part methylene blue to 99 parts of water, and just take 1 drop first. Second day, take 2 drops. Third day, take 3 drops, and you'll see. You'll notice that people that have fungal infections in their brain, dementia, cognitive issues, it literally will burn up the fungal infections in your brain. Now, a note here: anyone who's taking statin drugs, Lipitor, Crestor, etc., you have to stop, because the statin drugs literally suppress your cholesterol, which causes your brain to shrink and results in dementia. You ask your pharmacist, go online, you'll see statin drugs cause dementia, people. It also causes type 2 diabetes, rhabdomyolysis, which is breakdown of the muscle tissue, liver and kidney damage, and type 2 diabetes. Other than that, it's a wonderful drug. So wake up. The drug companies are literally trying to kill you. Low levels of infrared light therapy for repairing the brain. So researchers at the VA Boston healthcare system, they're testing the effects of light therapy on brain function in veterans with Gulf War illness. The Journal of Neurotrauma reported the outcomes of LED therapy in 11 patients with chronic traumatic brain injury. Neuropsychological testing before the therapy and at several points thereafter showed gains in areas such as executive functioning, which is, calculating and figuring things out, verbal learning, and memory. The study volunteers also reported better sleep and fewer PTSD symptoms, post-traumatic syndrome. So dysfunction. So the key is the infrared has been used at universities, and they're finding more and more that it can repair neurons in your brain. So why critical thinking is essential to maintaining brain sharpness. Aging is often associated with cognitive decline, both in research and anecdotal evidence. However, a growing body of the literature shows that retaining a sharp, lucid brain means never retiring or critical thinking skills. So use it or lose it. The need to continually challenge and expand our thinking was demonstrated in the aforementioned 2011 study published in the Journal of Neuropsychiatry. In this study, the leisure time activities of a group of older adults, we're talking ages 70 to 89, were monitored for effect on mild cognitive impairment. They call that MCI. The study determined that the level of complexity of the activity was key to its effectiveness at preventing mild cognitive impairment. Working with computers, reading books, and activities associated with patterns and problem solving contributed to a significant decrease in the odds of developing MCI. Less stimulating activities showed no statistical effect. This stresses the importance of feeling challenged and stimulated by the activities we pursue as we age. These findings were reinforced by a 2014 study of nearly 3,000 volunteers spanning more than a decade. This study examined the potential long-term benefit of cognitive training in older adults. Results showed that participants demonstrated enhanced brain processing speed and reasoning skills for up to 10 years after the training was completed. That's pretty amazing. These tangible brain benefits spilled over into daily life and were measured in the participants' ability to complete normal daily tasks such as personal finances, meal preparation, and personal care routines. The study revealed that stimulating environments help increase the complexity of the brain. So get lots of physical exercise, another way of improving your brain. When you hear the phrase train your brain, you probably don't think of weightlifting. Turns out physical exercise is one of the best things you can do for your brain, for your body and your brain. The brain benefits of exercise are twofold. First, the brain is a voracious consumer of glucose and oxygen with no ability to store excess for later use. A continual supply of these nutrients is needed to maintain optimal functioning. Physical exercise increases the blood flow to the brain, delivering a boost of fresh oxygen and glucose to hungry brain cells. A 2014 study showed that just 30 minutes of moderate cardio was enough to boost cognitive function in adult brains of all ages. But the benefits don't stop there. Exercise is believed to stimulate hippocampal neurogenesis. Hippocampus is your learning center in your brain. New cell growth in the region of the brain associated with long-term memory and emotions. Healthy cell growth in this region is important to the aging brain and believed to help prevent cognitive decline associated with Alzheimer's disease and dementia. Now, use stress reduction techniques. Stress is one of the top factors in aging-related cognitive decline. This makes engaging in regular scheduled leisure activity not just a fun thing to do, but an important step towards ensuring optimal brain health. You don't need to look far to find ways to de-stress. Hug a tree, real simple. It dissipates the negative energies in your body. Let your interests guide you. The key to picking brain-healthy pastimes is to avoid passive activities such as watching TV and instead choose stimulating hobbies that engage the brain through patterns, puzzles, and problem solving. A 2011 study published in the Journal of Neuropsychiatry found that activities such as playing games, reading books, and crafts like quilting and knitting reduced rates of cognitive impairment by up to 50%. Engaging with art also ranks high on the list of brain-healthy hobbies. Studies prove that, once again, it isn't enough to be a passive observer. To get the brain boost, you must engage. In a German study reported in the Journal of PLOS1, researchers studied two groups, a group that observed art and a group that produced art. The study concluded that compared to those who observed art, the art producers demonstrated increased interactivity between the frontal and parietal cortices of the brain. This increased brain connectivity translates to enhanced psychological resilience in the group of art producers. In other words, their ability to resist the negative effects of stress improved. Looking for a more low-keyed way to unwind? How about playing beautiful music or sitting in a quiet contemplation? Meditation has been shown to lower blood pressure, reduce inflammation, and even build resistance to feelings of anxiety and depression. And while listening to music may seem like a passive activity, research suggests that the act of listening to music patterns facilitates brain neurogenesis. Both meditation and listening to music affect the secretion of key hormones, neurotransmitters that enhance brain plasticity, thus changing the very way we respond to stress. Talk about good medicine. Finally, we're getting to the nitty-gritty. You don't need expensive, fancy things. Just listening to good music, meditation, hug a tree, and do some physical exercise. Anyway, that's all I have to say about brain regeneration. I think it's something that we all need. We all have to get involved, and we don't want to vegetate. So do we have any questions, Jared, that our audience may be interested in having answered? So I have your Splinters book, Doctor. Awesome work. Well, thank you so much. It's a compilation of basically 50 years of clinical research and thousands of hours of postgraduate work. And, common sense, that's been lost in medicine, dentistry, and most healthcare professions. So thank you very much for the compliment. Thanks for watching. Anyway, if there's no more questions, I'm happy to go take a little snack and watch a movie. What effect does canola oil have on the brain? Well, canola oil is a long chain fatty acid, and it goes rancid in your liver. So it's going to cause the brain cell membranes to turn into plastic, and you lose cognitive function. So stay away from canola oil. It's also genetically modified, so it's garbage. Do you sell methylene blue? No, well, but not actually. I don't keep it on my shelves. However, I'm getting some in, and I'm going to make up a 1 to 99 dilution that will sell to our patients. So probably in the next couple of weeks, I'll when I get it in, I'll dilute it. And Elaine, just call the office to see if it's available. But it's so damn simple and very far reaching. So list of supplements again. Sure, no problem. Actually, the notes are going to be up on the website, ghsdoc.live. I sent it to my webmaster. It'll be up tomorrow. But real quickly, I'll go over the nutrients. Okay. Number 1 was turmeric. Number 2 was green tea. Number 3 was carnosine, CARNOSINE. The next was clinician's preference, which is the organic cold pressed omega-6, omega-3. And then ginkgo biloba by MediHerb. That's for short-term memory. Bacopa also I recommend strongly by MediHerb. And that's for long-term memory. And sulforaphane, which is present in many cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli, cauliflower, collard greens, kale, bok choy, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, arugula, turnips, watercress, radishes, horseradish, and wasabi. And then to the methylene blue. So that covers the gamut and the infrared. We have special infrared technology that's special at a 60-degree angle so it doesn't damage your brain. And you have little headpieces that you wear. And we use full spectrum light also to the brain. And that also is documented to repair neurons. So I have tried taking ginkgo for years. It always gives me a headache. Well, you have to understand that ginkgo dilates the blood vessels. So you probably have a situation where your blood vessels are already dilated, possibly from being too acidic maybe, or toxicity. So that's why the ginkgo is giving a headache. Can you talk about DMSO? DMSO is a wonderful diffuser. If you have to mix it 50% DMSO, 50% water, because if you put it full strength, it'll burn your skin. It'll irritate your skin. In the diluted 50% form, you can put in essential oils, for example, or vitamins. You can rub it on the skin. It'll literally drive it in to your body. It's also a wonderful anti-inflammatory. A lot of the horse people put DMSO on the joints of their horses before they race so that they eliminates the arthritic pains. DMSO is great for post-stroke. It cuts down the inflammation and reduces the damage to the areas of inflammation of the brain. And if you combine that with 35% food grade oxygen, it'll actually help repair the brain. So yeah, DMSO has been around for a long time. It's made from wood pulp, and it's not going to kill you. But make sure you dilute it 50%. May I ask if it's safe to stretch one's mouth open during a disc displacement without reduction, limited opening? probably more important, you want to check the temporal bones, because if your temporal bones are out of alignment, your disc and your TM joint aren't going to work properly. Also, if you have a spastic superior head of your superior head of the external pterygoid muscle, when that's in spasm, so here's your condyle, the superior head of the external pterygoid attaches to the disc, and if it's in spasm and tight, it's going to pull the disc anterior and medially. So you also have to, with an energetic technique, release the superior head of the external pterygoid muscle before you try to do any disc displacement. So again, these are little nuances that most dentists are not aware of. And, just trying to stretch your mouth to try to get the disc to pop on, there's other variables in the equation that have to be addressed. So infrared saunas work. Absolutely. My advice is do not heat up your sauna first and then go in. Go in cold and then turn the heat up slowly, because if you walk into a hot sauna, your body actually resists detoxification of heavy metals and toxins. So this I learned from my main mentor, Dietrich Klinghardt. What brand do you suggest? Ginkgo, MediHerb from Standard Process sells MediHerb. We carry it at the office, and I take it periodically, and it really sharpens up your mind. But again, people who have are prone to headaches, they're going to have dilated blood vessels in the head, and the ginkgo is just going to exacerbate it and make you worse. So there's an underlying reason why you'll have a dilated blood vessels. It could be chronic inflammation from a vaccine from childhood that's trapped up in the brain. It could be glyphosate in the brain. It could be a virus in your brain, cytomegalovirus, retrovirus. So you really have to push the envelope and start thinking what the heck is causing the underlying problem. Does heat pack affect ceramic implants? Not that I'm aware of. Ceramic should be more of an insulator as opposed to titanium, so it shouldn't. Is it ever a good option to have TMJ pseudo disc form instead of recapturing the original disc? Hard to find someone that can do this. Well, if you can maybe locate a good craniopath, so someone that, or a good chiropractor that does cranial manipulation to remove these variables. The pseudo disc is just a fibrosis from chronic inflammation. So from my perspective, I want to fix the problem and not just play around with it. Do you still take in patients? I don't do general dentistry anymore, to be honest with you. I treat more cancer patients, cranial manipulation. I don't do appliances, that kind of stuff. I do orthopedics and orthodontics. I'm at a point now in my professional career where I just want to have fun every day, and I do. So, but thank you for asking. So, we run out of questions. Anyway, I had fun, people. Hopefully, you learned a lot from the information that I shared with you. You don't have to go through life with a tube up every orifice and in a nursing home. That's ridiculous. But, the old joke is the guy who was debilitated said, if I knew I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself. Don't change your oil in your car for, 50,000 miles, and you'll see it'll seize up your engine. Anyway, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to watch. Next week, not sure what I'm going to do, but it'll be something interesting and informative. So God bless you. Stay well and enjoy life every day.